Alright, we're going to go over homework 0, 1.5 HW2, solving equations, and we're going to get some more practice with solving multi-step equations here, the smaller versions of multi-step equations, before we get too big. Now, problem number 1 says 6 equals a divided by 4 plus 2. What we first need to do is that we need to move this 2 to the other side of the equal sign. So how do we do that? We do that inverse operation stuff and subtract 2 from both sides of the equal sign. Notice that I put the negative 2 below the 6 because they're like terms. So 6 minus 2 gets us 4 equals a divided by 4. And a positive 2 and a negative 2, they cancel right out. This is the given. We subtracted 2 from both sides of the equation. We made it nice and pretty, we just simplified it. Now, we have a divided by 4 equals 4. The opposite of divide by 4 is times 4, so we're going to multiply by 4 to both sides of the equation. 4 times 4 gets us 16. And now a is all by itself, so a equals 16. Write our steps out, divide by 4 to both sides of the equal sign. Oh, sorry, we didn't divide, we multiplied. Multiply by 4 to both sides. And then we have our solution, which is a equals 16. Which, on this worksheet, a equals 16 is the answer. Alright, next problem we're going to do, we're going to take care of, and we're going to do problem number 3. So now this is problem number 3. We have 9x minus 7 equals negative 7. What we got to do, we got to get x all by itself. This is our given. We add 7 to both sides of the equation because we want to move that negative 7 to the other side. So we have 9x equals, well, negative 7 plus 7 gets us 0. Added 7 to both sides. We wrote it nice and pretty, we simplified it. Now this is 9 times x. So what we got to do, we have to divide by 9 to both sides of the equation. Divide by 9 on both sides of the equations. Both sides. 9 divided by 9 gets us 1. So it'll be x. So it'll be 1x. Or just simply x. 0 divided by 9 is 0. That's our solution to number 3. X equals 0. Next up, we're going to do problem number 6. Alrighty, here's problem number 6. We have negative 1 equals 5 plus x divided by 6. Now notice here, the divide by 6, it's attached to both the 5 and the x up here. So we have to first get that divide by 6 over to the other side. So, what we're going to do, the inverse operation of divide by 6 is multiply by 6. So we multiply by 6 to both sides. So we have our given, our top line. Now we multiply by 6 to both sides of the equation. Negative 1 times 6 gets you negative 6. Now 5 plus x divided by 6. Well, the divide by 6 and the times 6, they cancel out with one another. So we're just going to have 5 plus x on the right hand side because they cancel. This is like adding 3 apples and then taking away 3 apples. Now negative 6 equals 5 plus x. Well, remember, there's an imaginary plus sign in front of that 5 because this plus sign goes with this x. So the inverse operation of plus 5 is subtract 5 from both sides. So negative 6 minus 5 gets you negative 11. Positive 5 and negative 5, they cancel out. And then we carry down the plus x, which is really just x. So you have x equals negative 11. We simplified. We then subtracted 5 from both sides of the equation. And then we have our solution, which is x equals negative 11. And that's the answer for number 6. Next problem we're going to do is problem number 7. Alright, here's problem number 7. V plus 9 over 3 equals 8. So the opposite of divide by 3 is times 3. So we're going to multiply by 3 to both sides of the equation. So to divide by 3 and times 3, they're going to cancel each other out. So we have V plus 9 equals 8, 16, 24. That's 8 times 3 is 24. We then subtract 9 from both sides of the equation. So we get V equals 25. And that's our answers for number 7. V equals, oh, not 25, V equals 15. Pardon me. Because 24 minus 9 gets you 15. That's why it's always good to use a calculator and double check your work when you take a step back and look at it. So let's go through it step by step one more time. We're given V plus 9 divided by 3 is equal to 8. That's given to us. Then we have a divide by 3 here, so we have to multiply by 3 because that's the inverse operation. We got to do that to both sides. So multiply by 3 to both sides of the equation. Then we simplify, we made it prettier. We rewrote it, V plus 9 equals 24. Then we subtracted 9 from both sides of the equation. And then we got our solution, which is V equals 15, because 24 minus 9 is 15. And that's the answer to number 7. The last problem we're going to do is problem number 10. We're going to do problem number, oh pardon me, actually we're going to do problem number 8. Problem number 8. Alright, here's problem number 8. We have 2 times n plus 5 equals negative 2. So now what does this mean? Well, as we talked about a little bit in class, that's the distributive property. So it's going to be 2 times n, we're just going to rewrite it here, and then 2 times 5, which gets you 10. We write the rest. So this is given to us. Then we just did the distributive property. Now we're going to use our inverse operations like we've been using. Subtract 10 from both sides. And we get 2n equals negative 12. Subtract 10 from both sides. We simplify. Now we're going to divide by 2. To both sides of the equal sign, and we're going to get n successfully all by itself. And we have n equals, well, negative 12 divided by 2 gets us negative 6. And that is our solution. N equals negative 6. That's the answer to number 8. Now it's your job to do all the other problems assigned for homework in the Google form below. If you have any questions, make sure you ask them in class or come to Extra Help. I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have. Alright, have a good night.